All right, let's get right into it. When you hear the word fasting, you probably think of the latest diet trend. But for the next few minutes, I want you to completely reframe that. We're going to look at fasting not as something you do, but as a journey, a deep dive into your body's most ancient and powerful survival code. I mean, really think about that for a second. We live in a world of constant 24/7 abundance, and we almost never give our bodies a break. But what if we did? What incredible programs, written into our DNA over millions of years, are just sitting there, waiting for the right signal, the signal of scarcity, to turn on. And look, this isn't just some cool idea. It's basically like digging into our own biological history. You could call it metabolic archaeology. The ability to not just survive but to actually thrive without food all the time was a huge evolutionary advantage. And fasting lets us tap into that original blueprint, a system that's pre-programmed for peak performance when fuel is low. Okay, first things first, and this is absolutely critical. We need to draw a very clear line in the sand. Fasting is a controlled, deliberate choice that triggers repair and regeneration. Starvation is the complete opposite. It's uncontrolled, it's chronic, and it causes damage. They are not even in the same ballpark.
All right, so let's start our 72-hour journey. This first 24-hour block, it's all about flipping a massive switch in your body's engine room, completely changing the fuel source it runs on.
I really love this slide because the analogy is just perfect. See, most of the time, our bodies are running like a gasoline engine, burning through glucose from carbohydrates. It's fast fuel, for sure, but it can be kind of messy and it relies on you constantly topping up the tank. But when you fast, your body does this incredible thing. It shifts gears and switches over to this clean, quiet, super efficient electric engine that runs on ketones, which it makes from its own stored body fat.
And what's so fascinating is watching the play-by-play of how your body does this. It's this beautiful hormonal cascade. You know, for the first 6 hours or so, it's easy. You're just burning off your last meal. Then it taps into the sugar you've got stored in your liver. But once that starts running low, around the 18-hour mark, your body gets seriously creative, even making new fuel from other sources. And this whole process is leading up to the 24-hour mark, which is when the real magic starts, ketogenesis. Your body starts pumping out that premium ketone fuel.
And there we have it, the first major milestone. Honestly, getting to this point can feel like the toughest part of the climb, but biologically, this is where the amazing stuff really kicks off. So what have you actually accomplished by now? Well, your body has done the hard work of burning through all its easy-access sugar. It's officially a ketone-burning machine. And maybe most importantly, it's just unlocked the door to this incredible process called autophagy, a deep cellular cleanup that we're about to get into right now. Okay, let's move into phase 2. Now that the immediate energy crisis is handled, your body can shift its focus. It's no longer worried about fuel, it's ready to do some internal housekeeping. This is the deep cleaning phase. Now, the star of this phase is a process called autophagy. The word literally means self-eating, which sounds pretty intense, right? But just think of it as your body's ultimate quality control and recycling program. It intelligently seeks out all this old, damaged, junky cellular material and breaks it down into raw materials to build new, pristine parts. It's literally out with the old, in with the new on a cellular level. So how does this whole cleanup get started? Well, it's this really elegant molecular dance. Think of it like this. Your body has a growth and build switch called mTOR, which is always on when you're eating. But it also has a conserve and repair switch called AMPK. When you fast, you flip mTOR off and you flip AMPK on. That specific combination is the ultimate green light for the cellular cleanup crew to roll up their sleeves and get to work. Hitting the 48-hour mark is a huge deal. At this point, you're in what's called deep ketosis, which is where a lot of people report that amazing feeling of mental clarity. But under the hood, something profound is happening. Autophagy is in full swing, even cleaning out your cellular power plants, the mitochondria. And this is why, for so many people, physical hunger just vanishes. Your body is busy with a much more important project.
And now we head into the final act. We're moving beyond just cleaning house and into a full-scale regenerative reboot. This is where the most incredible benefits of a longer fast really start to show up.
72 hours. This is the peak. This is the moment the whole journey has been building towards, because at this point your body's focus shifts again, from simply cleaning and conserving to actively rebuilding. I just love this quote because it captures the feeling of this phase so perfectly.
Your body isn't just trying to get by anymore. It's seizing the opportunity to rebuild itself from the inside out, starting with some of its most important systems.
So how does this reboot actually work? Well, here's the secret sauce. Fasting quiets down the body's constant grow signals, like one called IGF-1. By turning down all that noise, it sends a powerful message to your dormant stem cells, the body's master repair crew. It's the signal for them to wake up, start multiplying, and get to work rebuilding critical systems, especially your immune system.
So let's just put it all together on one timeline. This really lays out our entire journey so beautifully. The first day is all about flipping that big metabolic switch. The second day is dedicated to that deep cellular cleanup. And by day 3, you've unlocked the ultimate prize, a full system reboot, powered by your very own stem cells. It is just an incredible biological cascade, all orchestrated by the simple absence of food.
Okay, understanding this incredible science is one thing, but putting it into practice safely, well, that's everything. So now that we've seen the why, let's finish up with the essential how, the absolute must-knows for navigating your own fast. The number 1 golden rule, electrolytes. When you fast, your insulin levels drop, and that makes your kidneys excrete more sodium, which takes water and other key minerals with it. So replenishing your sodium, potassium, and magnesium is completely non-negotiable if you want to avoid headaches, muscle cramps, and dizziness, what a lot of people call the keto flu.
And it's so important to see the whole picture here. On one side of the scale, you have these truly profound benefits: deep cellular cleanup, a rejuvenated immune system, incredible metabolic flexibility. On the other side, there are real risks if they're not managed, mostly centered around those electrolytes. But the biggest risk of all comes right at the very end, with a serious issue called refeeding syndrome if you break your fast the wrong way.
Which brings us to what is easily the most delicate part of this entire process: how you reintroduce food. You have to start gently. Think nutrient-dense liquids, like a good bone broth. Then you slowly move to soft, easily digestible foods. The absolute key is to avoid a sudden rush of carbs and sugar, which can cause some really dangerous shifts in your electrolytes. So, after going through this whole journey, it's pretty clear, isn't it? Fasting is so much more than a tool for weight loss. It's about tapping into an ancient, built-in program to kick off a deep, systemic, biological reset. And that really leaves us with a final question to chew on. We live in an age of nonstop excess, constant consumption. But maybe, just maybe, the key to building resilience against the diseases of modernity doesn't lie in adding more, but in purposefully embracing the ancient wisdom of taking something away.